Hello and welcome to NFT Guild Roundtable. This is the 22nd one we've hosted, and today we are here with Abe, or Seamoss. He is the creator of an innovative service called Naptcha. It's envisioned as a scalable B2B service and aims to drive Cardano adoption by providing online businesses with secure and trackable ways to offer additional value and convenience. Thank you for coming, Abe, and floor is yours, sir.
All right, thanks for having me. Where to start? So what is Naptcha? Let's go back and just talk about the state of Cardano at the moment. You might be familiar with the concept of token gating. It's been talked about for a long time. Many other teams have performed some sort of token gating. But the problem that we're facing, one of the problems, is a tech barrier to to onboarding. We're all kind of selling to ourselves and to each other, and it's difficult for somebody to just whip up a technology, particularly if they're a creator. There was a indie film that just came out last year that successfully made a token gate, but they had to pay a dev team a lot of money, and we're really reinventing the wheel every single time we work on a silo to create our own shtick, and then it is what it is, and it takes some effort to change. So this app is a self-service interface that aims to make the process of adding on-page utility easier. Its purpose is to be able to configure these gates by simply filling out a form, essentially, and then having this utility work on any website and not just my central one. It's meant to be a connector between Web 2 and Web 3, and the intent is, I suppose, twofold. You can revitalize existing NFT projects by applying utility to them retroactively. You can sell any product or service that you'd like by just affiliating this on-page utility with the token. And we may have more than a couple of reasons for large businesses in the mainstream to start using Cardano in a serious fashion. Let me see. Do you think I should walk them through the app?
Yeah, I think that would be good. Show us what you got.
Host disabled participant screen sharing.
Ah, fixed it. There you go. Sorry.
No worries. So this is the app so far. You've got a notice of beta phase, a little bit of an explanation, and the homepage, honestly, is the least important. But I want to have some statistics of popular gates and users. I suppose the first thing I'd like to show you, I really want to show you the gate marketplace, but let me log in first. You don't see the Nami wallet pop up because it's already in the whitelist I've already created. And let me make sure I'm using the right one. Yeah. Awesome. So just bear with me because my server's on the free plan. So it might be super slow. All right, so I'll walk you through the gate marketplace since that's a public page first. Token gates are really just data objects in this side chain that dictate, well, look at that, it's working, that dictate what are the conditions for a token for a user to pass, and then what are the consequences or abilities of that gate to pass. As far as the conditions, here's what I have. You can make a token gate work on any website, but one specific page at a time. And soon enough, that'll be enhanced with whitelists and blacklists, so that while this universal script is exactly the same for everyone, which gates you're entitled to is going to depend on which page you're on at the moment and what's in your wallet. This gate marketplace page shows all of the gates in the system, and nobody purchases anything per se. However, it can be used to promote your own project. As I go into the gate detail page, I can see the user profile of the creator along with his personal website. So the deal would be you can use whatever minting service that you like. You can embed the mint on a drop page on your own website. And then you can have a Naptcha user profile that directs people there. So if somebody is in the mood to watch a movie, they'll browse and filter by video type gates. They'll read a little bit about the gate description and then visit your website to buy the NFT. Once they have it, they don't need to go anywhere. They can go on a different page on your same website to test out the utility. Okay, it's working. I literally think like the server has to like wake up. It gets like sleepy or something. I don't know what the fuck is wrong. Let's take a look at this account status portion here. If you were to make an account today, you can get right in for free and you don't need an NFT, but your status will be registered. You'll be able to look through every part of the interface, but you just won't be able to create your own gates. If you have a login token, the next time you log in, if that login token hasn't been used before, it'll be associated with your account and you'll be upgraded to active. These little data points will be more significant when the app has a paid version. It's completely free at the moment, aside from the login token. But the idea is, as a service, you don't have to know anything about the technology. You just have to do what you do as a creator. And if you want to get off the free tier, you choose a level of service that makes sense for your business, which would amount to how many times those gates can fire every month, how many gates you can have active at one time, and the size of the payload. A feature I want to add is Google Analytics integration. So for the 10 years or so that I was a web analyst in the Web 2 world doing e-commerce, it was unthinkable to put forth any amount of money or effort into an e-commerce venture without conversion tracking implemented. Otherwise, how could you possibly know or accurately compare your efforts against each other? With the Google Analytics integration, you could potentially fire conversion events off to your account every time a gate passes and create your own visuals from that. So the My Gates page, you'll have a list of all of your gates, which ones are active or capped out. And they'll have different statuses. You can edit one just like this. And the edit gate page is going to be similar to the create gate page. Title, description, whether or not it's active at the moment, so you could set it up and have it launch at a later time. The utility category, so it could be found on the public search page. And this gate conditions section. You can dictate that a specific asset needs to exist or needs to be present for the gate to pass, or you can leave that blank and fill out policy ID so that any token in the series will trigger the gate. As I mentioned earlier, you specify the page that you want the utility to work on. Why is this important? Because distribution control. There may be scenarios like video creators that want to use this system but don't want it to be available anywhere else. Or more importantly, they do want distribution, but they want to be in control. So this domain URL, this will expand to an optional whitelist blacklist system. Imagine a scenario where the Cardano version of Netflix has popped up, including a dozen other competitors to it. You could dictate which of those apps you want to be able to provide your video to other people. It'll show up on your site, plus all of those other sites. And if somebody attempts to host token gate of yours on their website, it simply won't work. These use caps, as an option, you could have a gate be able to fire a very specific number of times, which is great for event tickets. If you were using Naptcha as an event ticketing system, you would have one NFT per ticket, one gate per NFT, and a use cap of 1 for each of those gates. Under gate abilities, this is the other half. What needs to happen if the gate should pass? And while I want it to get a lot more complicated in the future, including some server-side abilities, I have these options so far. Parse it as a string, pass along as HTML, run it as JavaScript, videos, video playlists, video streaming, audio, redirection, and YouTube. Parse as ticket means whatever payload is in here, transpose it as a QR code onto the screen. Now, this app only works on desktop for now, only on Nami for now, but I have very specific plans to make a mobile-friendly way to access your account. Combine that with this concept of internal accounts, you could verify that you have a token on mobile without the need for a browser wallet. So as you're creating this account, or as you're creating this, you add the payload and then you tell it how it's supposed to interpret that payload. Let's go to maybe my Sprout video account, which is similar to Vimeo or YouTube. It just has some extra options. Let's see, what videos do I have? Some tester. Is that a video? Let's go with this stripper coin exclusive clip. Upload complete, view video library. So Naptcha is not a video streaming service. It's a connector, right? It's meant to connect the Web 2 and Web 3 worlds. Anything a computer can do, now contingent upon whether a person has the correct NFT and is at the correct page. You can do the exact same thing with a YouTube payload, but I really like Sprout because under additional video settings, you can restrict access to domains or IP addresses. So between the token gating and the domain restriction for the streaming, you have a fairly airtight way to do live events. I'm taking that embed code and I'm adding it as the payload. Now, when the payload is Sprout or Sprout Lightbox, it assumes what this is and fills out the rest of the video embed. Now, these two fields at the bottom are not, oh shit. One second. I might have lost the internet. Can you hear me?
Can still hear you.
Okay.
You haven't glitched out yet.
These two fields are not active yet, but they're one of the top priorities for the next feature set. Send asset and send type. As a consequence of a gate passing, maybe you can send out an asset from your internal wallet to whoever is authenticating at the gate at the time. If you consider the idea that a future gate condition might be payment, you could create a scenario where you have to turn in one NFT to get another. So the intent of this app is to cover maybe 75% of the desired utility for all of the projects out there, particularly the lone creators who can't afford a dev, but still have much to offer the world that's not, technology related. Gonna save it. And since this process works on my own twist of the OAuth flow, a Cardano-based OAuth flow, that's how it's able to securely work on any website. So I'm going to the same page that I configured the gate to work on, and we'll go through the interstitial. Again, you won't, well, let me delete the whitelist just so you could see the NAMI pop up. Connect your wallet to begin. And depending on a combination of the callback and the assets you have in your wallet, you should get a list of gates. Let's try NFT Guild, NFT Club, test page. Test page. I probably don't have the policy. I wasn't paying attention to what this policy was. These are all gates that are related to tokens I have. So let me change out this policy for something I know I have. Probably better I did it this way because now you could see it not showing up and then showing up. Copying and pasting a policy ID. Oh shit. All right, now pasting it in. Let's try it again. There it is. NFT Guild Tester Gate. This pop-up warns you that you're going to be redirected back to the third-party site and has some details about the gate so you know what's about to happen. Now, going back to the original website, keep in mind this is your website. the third-party site, this tester site, represents anybody's website. With this newly made authentication, you have access to a video, obviously previously deleted, but this this frame here proves that it works anyway. How am I doing, Peter?
How you doing? It works good, but what's the video you uploaded a minute ago? Is it not up yet?
Well, I'm also on a free trial of Sprout Video, so that might be it. One second. Did I save it? Maybe I didn't save it. I didn't save it.
There we go. Huh.
So, if I didn't mention this already, it's in beta. Maybe I could just create a gate instead. Let me just make one from scratch. Delete, delete, delete. NFT Guild. I suppose this will be a good time to tell you that the beta is open, and I would much appreciate people coming in to test. This is just a test. Active. The test page is this. Use cap is arbitrary, and we'll have this one token as the policy. A load and parse format. Let's test it out anyway. So that's what you could have with Naptcha, aside from Booty. The ability to token gate your own videos, your own e-commerce, your own web to anything, with the NFT series that you're selling. Next indie film developer that comes around is not going to have to pay a dev team. They'll be able to whip up their own token gate in a minute or so. Now, this concept of internal wallets is going to be the biggest part of what I want to do next. The MVP really is only half complete in my mind, because the internal wallet's going to let me do three really important things. If you're on a paid plan, I can charge you automatically every month according to the service tier you chose. If you send assets into your internal wallet, you could configure gates to send those assets out to the people who are passing your gates as a consequence of the gate passing. And then thirdly, internal wallets could be used as a part of the mobile verification solution. There has to be some other way to verify you are the owner of a particular NFT if you don't have access to the browser wallet connector. Finally, you could see that this app is a little bit buggy, which is why I need you guys to get on and test it. Whether if you like me, you can support me by privately sharing the bugs you found. And if you hate me, then you're welcome to try to break it, do your worst. I can just reset it at any time. But I do have a login token sale. If you want to be upgraded to the ability to make your own gates, you could support me by buying a login token. And if you can't afford one and you still want to test it, then just contact me and I'll talk to you.
Test. How long have you been working on this, man?
I've been talking about this concept for about 2 years now across Twitter Spaces. I've been obsessed with token gate. The project officially began August of last year, I believe it was, when it was funded in Catalyst Fund 8. Long story short, I chose the wrong guy to partner with. He promised that he could do it, and then he just didn't. So I had to pick up the slack. In the last 5 months or so, I've been working on this straight, teaching myself the meta and stack. So at the moment, it's all just me. And I would say I've been coding it for 5 months.
Cool. So fund date, Catalyst proposal, getting
Total waste of money.
built out. Total waste. You think it's a
Lost
total
it
waste?
all.
Nah.
Well,
You got
I mean,
something.
experience.
Yeah, you definitely have earned some experience in the process.
For sure. I'm very
Yeah.
grateful I can now make whatever I want with my own 2 hands.
It's a beautiful thing.
So sorry there were some hiccups, but you did see the creation and execution of a token gate. And it has some unique advantages that Cardano just hasn't seen yet. We've seen token gating willy-nilly all day, every day, but they do very specific things. They're hard to change. There's a specific dev team behind it that you might be able to pay a lot of money to do something for you. With this, you can just forget about all that. In a similar way that maybe NFT Maker might have helped instigate the last bull run, it opened the floodgates by reducing the tech barrier to almost zero for the ability to mint tokens. Now the society, the culture, the community is getting a little bit tired. Some of us are getting a little bit tired of tokens that do anything, don't do anything. And the Web 2 world is certainly looking for reasons to use blockchain. So Naptcha could potentially be that reason. If you were to, for example, connect Naptcha with Zoom, you could potentially create an airtight proof of attendance system. If you look at Zoom's API docs, somebody with the right Cardano-based server communicating with a Zoom account could do some pretty amazing things. It's not that complicated. It's just the one concept that Naptcha provides is whatever type of business you're trying to run, you can enhance it and make it more secure and easier to use for your consumers through blockchain technology.
Smoother and secure authentication for all sorts of different applications.
Yeah, Naptcha originally came up with the name because it was intended to be specifically to eliminate CAPTCHAs around the world. If you have a third-party login system, like login with Google, login with Twitter, but that's flexible enough for your own site, it doesn't even have to be used for logins, but if you have to implement a username and password combo, then you probably also have to implement a CAPTCHA system. And CAPTCHAs are the evil bane of the world that absolutely nobody on the planet appreciates. Naptcha could potentially wipe CAPTCHAs off the face of the earth, because if there is no username password field, there's no reason to implement a CAPTCHA. You have any questions? That's about all I have to share for today.
I saw that you had the asset name as a way to maybe restrict gating not to a specific asset, not to the entire policy. Is there a way, or are you thinking of adding a way maybe to restrict it to a set of assets, like maybe giving the user the ability to import CSV with a list of assets? Because, for instance, if you have in a collection of, let's say, 10,000 NFTs, only 1,000 that you want to allow to pass through a particular gate, I guess it would be really tiresome to create 1,000 separate gates, right? So
well, here's the thing about that is, after I have an open API set up in the next phase of development, you don't need to click around the back end to create a gate. So perhaps you have a dev team that's making a game, maybe like Cornucopias or YOLO Solos, and these games have winners. There are win conditions. That game could dynamically create a gate, dynamically change its payload, and change the association of that asset. Then if somebody, let's say, that wins a PvP, the payload is their reward, whatever it may be, and they know how to claim it. You would target the asset ID of their game character. Particularly if a gate passing, the consequence of a gate passing is sending out an asset, they claim their prize. I wanted, for YOLO Solos, I was hoping they're very busy, but I originally was hoping that they could create maybe video stories, short video clips that kind of animate what happened to their character, Oregon Trail style, and everyone with their own individual game character NFT would visit this page to get a different result, and the winner would probably get, a better type of video, and maybe a large number of other people would get videos related to dying of dysentery or something like that. In YOLO Solos, there's like a winner, a surviving #1 winner, and maybe a series of runner-ups. So you could create a gate for the winner where the consequence is sending out an asset, which could be ADA. And for like all of the others, you would specify, a specific gate. I don't want to include like a CSV for assets for a gate, because you could just easily make more gates or upload a CSV of gates you want to create. But this trigger domain, I do want to have a combo whitelist, blacklist situation. So it'll work on a very specific page plus any of these domains. And then if you definitely don't want a specific business showing your content, add that domain to the blacklist.
Okay, so you would be able to basically recreate what I was describing with a whitelist.
Yes.
Cool. At the beginning of the call, you mentioned that we're kind of in a situation where we're mostly selling to ourselves and not really onboarding people from outside the Cardano ecosystem. And yeah, we agreed to a large degree with that statement. Then, do you have any plans on how you could onboard additional businesses? Because yeah, in the description of your product, you were saying it's a B2B solution. Of how would you go about onboarding businesses, and what would maybe some concrete examples of what would Naptcha offer them?
Okay, yes. So I've been thinking a lot about how do you describe the benefits of blockchain without saying blockchain? And the entire ecosystem is suffering from this problem that's holding back the mainstream. Why should businesses get involved? I'll give you a couple examples. We were talking about telehealth just recently, and Zoom bombing attacks have been an issue in the past, but what I think is going to be a huge issue in the future is deepfakes. How do you know for sure that you can even trust the video you're looking at? If you have to have a token to get into the call, there's more confidence that you're talking to the same person you were talking to before. Jarhead mentioned a while back that he has at times had difficulty obtaining his medical and veteran records. But an identity service, a service like this could be used as a form of identity to contact the VA on the server side when a gate passes to get authentication. And again, indie movie films, they don't need any of the traditional gatekeepers for their distribution. They could be on multiple platforms at the same time. And then e-commerce businesses could at least see it as yet another sales channel, a way to virtualize their products and services and get them in front of other people in a way that consumers have not been able to enjoy their products before. Provably finite, tradable, and can never be taken away from you.
That sounds cool. Maybe a more generic question: when you first thought of developing Naptcha, why did you choose Cardano to?
I believe Cardano is the terra firma upon which an entire new world is going to be built. Nobody's paying attention to it yet because we're too focused on the tech and the scientific white papers and all of that. But I do believe it's going to flip ETH. And I honestly don't really have any interest in going multi-chain. I'm looking for a blockchain that has a future. I'm looking for a blockchain that is built, with a little bit more foresight. Gas fees on Ethereum make it just a non-starter for particular types of businesses. If you have to pay, for example, a gas fee to listen to a song, it's just not going to take over Web 2. It's just not. Also, the security, the auditability. I believe that serious mainstream businesses like banks will never seriously adopt Ethereum because it's impossible to audit it. It's impossible to audit their smart contracts because of the global scope. So I'm just taking a risk, I suppose, on betting on the future.
The market speaks.
That's definitely a valid answer, I think. To some extent, a lot of us on Cardano are. So what are your plans in the future now that you have this first version of Naptcha released? How do you see it growing and evolving?
I have to continue to test and add features until it becomes profitable. Right now, it's a free app because there is no billing mechanism. So that billing server is the very next thing that I have to make. Once it's a thing that can actually take in money from users, then I'll be able to, go to these large Web2 companies and make real proposals. But right now, I'm just fundraising in the grassroots, getting feedback from people and looking for particular use cases. I'm going to be putting on some small concerts in the Cardano community with more persistent gates that I'm manually entering, but right now it needs to remain for the most part, in a beta tester phase. I'm having a lot of conversations with people in normal Web2 businesses because I have to understand where the demand is going to be. I really don't want to be yet another app that is on blockchain just because blockchain is hot right now. I need this app to provide the best advantages of blockchain that simply don't exist in the Web2 world to help enhance people's businesses.
Cool. And how I saw that you had specific use cases for, or at least payloads that you could have in the gate right now. Would you be willing at this early stage, or maybe later on, to collaborate with other projects to add more custom, let's say, services or providers? Or
Yes, in fact, the on-page functionality is one of the simplest parts of the whole system. So I'll be adding gates. I'll be adding types of gates constantly, gate abilities, and feedback is very much appreciated. One of the next ones I want to whip up is an NFT maker gate, which literally will do nothing but protect your NFT drop on a page until somebody proves that they have a particular token, which would be a form of a whitelisting mechanism, right? But I certainly don't want to invent this in a silo. I need to make sure that it's solving actual problems. So feedback at this time is going to be critical. If you're a DJ or a filmmaker, if you have any NFT project on Cardano whatsoever, I can come up with a reason why you should use this. So just think about it. Maybe tweet me or DM me your intent for utility. And if Naptcha can't execute that today, maybe I'll add it tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Any more questions? Should we wrap this up?
no?
All right.
I appreciate you having me, guys, and I'm grateful that that it actually fucking worked on the call.
Yes.
Yeah,
Glad
thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming, Abe. Yeah, glad it worked, and good luck.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. Support development, motherfuckers.
Code Dreamer, let's go. Have a good one, everyone. Peace. Yeah.